Okay, everybody. Welcome to the finals round of the Makin Starcraft Invitational. Spawning here in the top left corner, we have Number playing with the blue Zerg drones. And in the bottom right, we have Flatch playing with the red Protoss probes. Okay, it looks like Flatch is sending out a probe very early. Looks like he wants to scout what his opponent's up to. Let's see what Number decides to do. He's been going for some early spawning pools and some um, kind of cheesy Zergling rushes in this matchup. So let's see if he decides to do that. It looks like he wants to take the hatchery. Oh, Flatch might be doing something sneaky though. It looks like he is thinking about placing a pylon down. Is he going to... Does he have a forge down? He has a forge down. He is cannon rushing. Here we go. This is a little bit dirty. So I would say this isn't the best way to cannon rush. You definitely want your cannons to be over in that little nook right here by that Vespene geyser. Otherwise, you're just not going to have quite enough range to threaten the main. Like, this isn't bad. This will definitely kill the natural base. Now, does Number see this? I don't think Number's expecting this. The Overlord didn't see the scouting probe go over. Now, what Flatch needs to do here is he needs to wall off this ramp, because one thing that Number can do here to win the game, especially with the cannons on this side, is he can just make a lot of Zerglings and he can flood the other side of the map. So I wouldn't mind seeing a wall off here. You know, even just a one base wall off. Now those cannons came up maybe a little too soon. You got the cancel on the hatchery. Didn't kill the hatchery, just got the cancel. So Jake manages to take the third there on the low ground. Okay, we got a spine crawler, at least one spine crawler coming up. I'm thinking that Number wants to make those into 2 more spine crawlers. Okay, he wants to make the queens as well, but he is currently majorly supply blocked. He's got 3 queens queued up. That's a lot of minerals that he could be using to make overlords, but that's alright. He's going for extractor here. Man, Flatch is looking for a soft contain here. He's making just a lot of photon cannons to keep him in the base. Now, does Flatch know about that base? He does not. It looks like... I don't know if that's from the probe left. That's probably from when the probe left. Just was barely out of range of seeing that hatchery. Okay, so what's Number's response going to be? Zergling speed? And a Roach Warren. I like the Roach Warren. I think that's a really good idea. I would like to see a little bit more aggression, especially with this base here. Is he producing Zerglings at this base? No, he's producing drones. See, I would just dedicate this base entirely to producing Zerglings. Excuse me. Now you'll notice he has 300 minerals tied up in queens in the queue that aren't producing right now. So definitely could have some more minerals to produce some more units to try and, break out of this. All in all though, it looks like this went really well for Flatch. I just think Number does not know how to respond to this. I mean, Number knows how to respond to a more aggressive cannon rush placed right here. He knows to GG out. But this one, it's not a GG out level cannon rush. It's more of just an annoying cannon rush. Okay, so we've got the injects have gone down on the hatcheries. That's good. Is he going to morph them into Ravagers? I'd really like to see them become Ravagers. If they can bile down the pylons, then you can clean up the photon cannons without any problem. He has plenty of gas. I wouldn't mind seeing those roaches become Ravagers at all. Okay, back down here in the bottom right corner, looks like Flatch has gone up to 3 gates. He's not producing anything though. Looks like he's just got 2 zealots. Man, I think if Number just took his army and marched across the map right now, he would be 100% fine. He would just mow over Flatch, basically. Okay, we have... Holy cow, we're going up to 7 gates right now. We're going for a Stalker Zealot Ball, it looks like. Got level 1 weapons coming up. That'll be... Oh, here we have a Zergling on by. Those Zerglings are really getting some work done. Yeah, there goes pretty much the entire mineral line. Now, unfortunately for the Stalkers, Zerglings are exceptionally good against Stalkers. The Zealots running back, trying to do something. Looks like they may have tried to run in, but Queens managed to shoo them away. Holy mackerel, that's a lot of probes lost. 17 probes going down there for Flatch. Now that puts the resources lost way in favor of the Zerg here. And yes, it looks like he did bile down that pylon at least. He's got plenty of gas. I wouldn't mind seeing more of those roaches become Ravagers, because as soon as you get that pylon down, these are complete dead weight. You can just pick them off. No extra effort needed. Okay, there come the biles. Loses a couple of Zerglings, but all things considered, that went really well. And he has broken out. I wouldn't be surprised to see him taking the natural base here any minute. Okay, back over on the other side of the map, Flatch is taking a sneaky little base over here. That's normally, I believe, the 5th base. He's also taking the 3rd base location now, so this is kind of interesting. Double expand, that's a really greedy move. I don't think that's going to help him out too much. We have 8 Zealots and a Stalker versus 6 Ravagers, 7 Roaches, and a Zergling. I think, especially if the Ravagers land good biles, that this is going to be an engagement that favors the Zerg heavily. Very similar as far as economy goes. Flatch is getting a little more gas, but that's not really important at this stage of the game. I'm a little surprised Flatch hasn't tried transitioning to Sky Toss. That seems to be something he's liked to do in the past games I've seen him play. I guess he's just trying to stick on warp gate units, warping these guys in. Okay, we've got a bunch of Zealots. He just likes massing the Zealots. Okay, looks like Number's making his move. He's gonna come poke and prod, see what's going on here. They're on move command. Okay, Number finally notices something's up. Almost biles down his own units, but this is just too much Zerg. Got one Zergling trying to take care of the Nexus. Wouldn't mind seeing Number kite back a little bit more. Gotta give it to the Zealots there. They are really tanky. Flatch does have the defender's advantage here. He has all these reinforcing units able to come up and help out as soon as they are produced. Whereas Number has to wait for his units to come from all the way across the map. On the production tab, we have 7 more Roaches and 6, well, make that 0 Zealots. They must have all just popped out. Bunch of Zealots here for Flatch. The Ravagers come back in, they decide, hey, we're going to get rid of the 3rd base. I don't think that Number has any idea that... Oh no, he actually does have an idea. He knows there is a base down there. Wouldn't mind seeing some Zerglings run down there. That's where most of the workers are. Alright, Number still has 44 army supply. Where is all his army supply, though? 14 roaches. Okay, we've got 2 roaches there. Just a bunch of roaches chilling at home here. That's interesting. The zealots are going to try and take care of this hatchery. Now, where's the roaches? What are the roaches doing? Brendan and Karen, their legs are too slow off creep. They're not going to be able to catch up there with the zealots. The zealots are going to get that base. Okay, we have Hydra Ravager. This is a high damage output composition here. Not super tanky, but that's okay. We have a mass ball of zealots and a few stalkers coming across the map now as well. His army is sitting up here in the top right. Zergling run by down here. The zealots are probably going to clean that up, but he has lost quite a few probes here. The army's just trucking on down. Now, what's he going to do with this army? Is he going to try and run in for a base trade? I don't think that this is an army you can base trade against. The Hydras just have a ton of damage output. Okay, this base is dead. Yep, he is running in for the counterattack here. Is this going to turn into a base trade? It just might. Okay, so what is Number doing with his army now? His army's just chilling. He sees that he has a ton of stalkers and zealots in his base. His army's moving over. He's decided to split his army. That's probably the right call. I would have preferred to see him take the whole army because part of the army isn't going to get much done against Protoss units. This is shaping up to be a really good game, actually. The zealots eventually do get cleaned up. Almost loses the hatchery, and so far we have 24 drones in total going down for the Zerg, but 45 drones have gone down in total for the Protoss, so... Or, excuse me, 45 probes. Flatch is up in workers at this point, but the Zerg can make drones really quickly. Oh dear. The Roaches, Ravagers, and Hydras got surrounded by the Zealots there. Oh, there was kind of a sandwich set up, but half of the sandwich decided to retreat there. Gonna leave the Hydralisks here to die. Sacrifice their lives for the swarm. Okay, so Number is... Looks like he wants to kind of take the defensive posture here. They're back to about even in workers now. I do notice that Flatch has several of his workers idle. Number's got a base just chilling, but he does have about 2 base saturation. His main has started to mine out pretty terribly, so... And it definitely looks like Number wants to focus on Hydralisks. Problem with Hydralisks is they aren't very tanky at all. So you need something to be able to soak up damage. I wouldn't mind seeing Zerglings. Zerglings don't do well against Zealots, but they do really good against Stalkers. And if nothing else, they just buy time for... the Hydras to deal damage while the Zealots are engaging the Zerglings. Okay, here comes a run by down at the empty base here. Is he going to lose this base? He very well could be losing this base. Okay, Where's his army? His army's on the way. Okay, I like this actually. He does have the Zerglings. The Zerglings need to... Yep, he loses the base. Attack, attack. Yeah, he seems to be focusing too heavy on roaches, I think. Roaches are tanky, and that is a good thing. But he doesn't have any of the roach upgrades. He has the 2 Hydra upgrades, however. Zealots have charge now. I wouldn't mind seeing lurkers. Is Evo Chambers coming up? Is there a lurker den anywhere? I don't believe so. No lurker den. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a lurker den at this point for the Zerg. Okay, back over here on Flatch's side, he's just going straight. Zealot Stalker. Very heavy on the Zealots. I actually think Banelings would probably be really good against that as well. But I don't think Number even has a Baneling nest. Okay. Yeah, the charge lots are just destroying this. Banelings are really what you need to deal with these. Either Banelings or Lurkers. Oh, wow, I did not see that coming. Number just did a massive meter switch, which is really great against Zealots, and he's got enough he can just tear through these Stalkers. This may be what wins him the game. Okay, so go for the base trade now. I think this isn't a bad deal. Going for the base trade. There's a few stalkers on the 2 stalkers on the production tab. There's nothing that's going to be able to deal with these Mutalisk. Yeah, there's nothing that can deal with these Mutalisks. I think this could be a big turning point. Very big turning point in the game, possibly. Yeah, this mineral line is just going to disappear as the Mutalisks tear through. Zerglings harassing some photon cannons. That's the most effective anti-air he has right now, other than these stalkers. He does have 9 stalkers now, which is quite a few. It's not terrible. The Zerglings, meanwhile, are just busy eating everything for breakfast. Flatch decides to go in for a counterattack here. Zealots running in, Stalkers following behind. Mutalisks are sitting idle. Would love to see the Mutalisk go into the main base here. You have Flatch producing 5 to 6 Stalkers at a time, which is good. He has a problem though. He has no more mineral income. So the army he's got now is the army he's going to continue the game with. Okay. I like this a lot for Number. He can get... Yeah. I was gonna say, if the Zerglings get around these Stalkers there, then that is pretty much it for the Stalkers. I'd like to see a lot of Zerglings come in and just flood the main base. That's pretty much game. Okay, Mutalisks come in, target down the pylon. I mean, it's nice and everything, but Flatch has no money anyways, so taking out the production isn't really going to do much. Okay, the Zerglings are taking the heat. It's going to allow the Mutalisk to come in and do some damage. We have roaches coming up. Now, unfortunately, roaches are armored. I believe stalkers do bonus damage against armored. So roaches might not be the best counter here. What do we have on the protection tab for the Zerg? We have a bunch of Zerglings, so we have a bunch of Zerglings popping out right now. Okay, this is the last-ditch effort from Flatch, it looks like. Now, unfortunately for Flatch, this is not going to go well for him. The Zerglings are going to tear through the stalkers. Mutalisks also doing their part. Okay, and that is a game. GG is called. So, game 1 goes to number.
Good job, mate.
Dude, that was a good game.
Yeah, it was pretty close there for a minute.
That was pretty intense. Well played, guys.
Oh.
Okay, ready for game 2?
Yeah.
Okay, welcome to game 2 of this best of 3 finals series. We have number spawning in the bottom left of Oxide LE, Flatch spawning in the top right. Had a really good game the first game. We had an unexpected muta switch from number that ended up winning him the game. He went for a drone but decided to cancel it. Oh my word, he's going for a 12 pool. Alright. So we have a probe coming across the map as well, also very early. Question is he going to put down a gateway or a forge? He might try to cannon rush again. We saw an attempted cannon rush last game. And it's a forge. We're going to have a cannon rush this game, everybody. So we have cheese versus cheese. Now, is number going to spot this? He does see it now. Okay. I'm not sure what to think of this pylon positioning. No. That pylon's not going to do so hot. He needs to have a photon cannon down right now if he wants this to work. There we go. Okay, photon cannon's down. I wouldn't mind seeing another pylon. Another pylon here would be great. Okay, the Zerglings pop out. Oddly enough, 12 pool is probably the best counter to this. Okay, yeah, it's time for Flatch to go home. The Zerglings are going to tear through this pretty easily. That photon cannon is not going to come up. Neither is that one. Yeah, it's going to get up, but it's not going to have any power because the pylon's going to go down. So our friend the probe decides to go home. He's going to make a gateway, and it looks like we're going to transition into a Zergling cheese. Alright. So, number is going to cheese with Zerglings. Cheese has been cheesed. More Zerglings coming across the map. Flatch taking a second nexus. So Flatch has absolutely no units here. Oh, this is looking not good. The boys get pulled. See if they can fight off the Zerglings. This looks like GG to me. Yeah, we might see Flatch GG out here. I probably would GG out in this position. But he does have Zealots on the production tab. Zealots might be able to deal with this. Got a couple Zerglings roaming the map. I think he's checking for other Nexi out there. More Zerglings are coming over. Okay, we got photon cannons in the main base. Zerglings, they're not going to try to run by. I think if they'd run by there, they would actually get a lot of work done on that mineral line and could probably close out the game. But I think those photon cannons scared him away. Photon cannons are really good. That's tricky. The Zealot runs down, lures up some Zerglings. There we go. The Zerglings get lured into the photon cannon range. I do like that. Nice little bit of micro by Flatch. Quite impressive. Okay, as far as economy goes, we have Number. He's got his second base up. A little bit oversaturated in his main. Zergling speed has finished up for Number. Alright, and it looks like Number has finally decided to transfer the workers down. Is this going to turn into an actual game? A macro game? I mean, it just might. There are Zerglings kind of scattered all over the map here. Zealots are going to be able to make pretty quick work of these. Those other Zerglings hiding in the corner, though. Okay, Zealots are going to be able to finish them off, it looks like. Okay, so what's our follow-up from Flatch going to be? I notice he has a Stargate up. Nothing's producing in it, though, quite yet. Wouldn't mind seeing a Void Ray. Void Ray would be pretty good. That's everyone's favorite follow-up to Photon Cannon Cheese, is definitely Void Rays. But nothing's producing. Nothing at all on the production tab for Flatch. Oh my word. I think it would have been better for Flatch just to take his natural in this case. Would have been a little quicker, easier to defend. But if Number does not scout this, then that's not terrible. He does have a Zergling right here, so that's not going to be a hard scout by any means. The Zealots are going around to the different expansions, cleaning up any Zerglings they find. Well, the definite advantage here is for Number. He's up to 45 workers now. He must have just built a couple structures. Yes, he did. He's taking his third base now. So 44 workers versus 22 workers. Literally double the number of workers. Oh my word, and here comes carriers. Did not see the fleet beacon on the production tab. So we have one carrier, he's short on gas. He needs to get these two gases over here mining if he's going to have any gas for a second carrier anytime soon. Now the carrier is honestly going to do really good. Number really doesn't have any army supply right now, other than a few Zerglings. The Zerglings look to be defensive Zerglings, I guess. I really like that there. Flatch is choosing to focus on getting the Vespine first. He knows that's what he needs right now. Although, if he wants to be able to produce carriers comfortably, he needs to take another base. He has the resources for it. I really wouldn't mind seeing another base come up for Flatch. All things considered, I think this is still Numbers game. He's just getting way far ahead in economy. He's got 3 times the mineral income. About the same gas income, actually. But he's getting a lot more stuff, and more stuff beats less stuff, unfortunately. for Flatch. Flatch is slowly producing stuff. His main is starting to run low on minerals. He really needs to take a second base. Okay, he has one carrier out. He has 2 Stargates, but they're not producing. Oh, he has 2 carriers out, excuse me. He has 3 Stargates, but only one of them is producing. He needs to get either another base up or start production on a carrier. He needs to use these resources. Now, what does Number have that can shoot up? He has 6 Hydralisks. Now, Hydralisks do pretty well against carriers. I mean, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It kind of depends on the engagement and the situation. Alright, we do have a third base coming up, actually, for Flatch. Man, I want to see more carriers. He does have the resources for it. Now it looks like, yep, Number's going up to his 4th base here. He's just sitting back, getting a bunch of Hydras. Now, the Zerg can churn out Hydras faster than the Protoss is churning out carriers, which isn't good for the Protoss. As Hydras, they can be kind of paper units, but they do have a high damage output. Oh, there's something happening in the main base. Missed what that was. Maybe it was a Zergling run by? I didn't catch it. Okay, well, Flatch's economy is actually starting to look really healthy now. The only problem is the Zerg's economy is way healthier. So we have 3 base Protoss versus 4 base Zerg. It's just a matter of how fast can he churn out these carriers. Okay, he's going to be supply blocked now. He needs another pylon. Okay, we have a carrier hit squad coming in from the top. They're going to see what they can get done. Number is expecting this. He's made some spore crawlers. He's made some queens. I'm not sure if you want to venture out onto that creep if you're Flatch. Oh my word, we got lurkers coming up as well. At least the lurker den is up. We have ultralisks, or the ultralisk cavern at least. A bunch of infestors, oh my word. A microbial shroud. That reduces the damage taken by ground units against air units. It's not something I see used very often. Okay, he's actually just really lucky that he kept those alive. Okay, the Hydralisks are coming all the way around. Brenda here is spinning circles, trying to hit those interceptors. I like the micro here from Flatch. I mean, carriers aren't normally something that you micro, but he is doing a good job of making the Zerg switch back and forth between bases, and then he just switches it up and heads right into the base that the Zerg just left. So I am liking the control by Flatch. This is buying him time to get a 4th base up. Number's sitting on a lot of minerals. When you've got a lot of extra minerals like that, Zergling run-bys are really, really helpful. You might be able to send a few Zerglings over and just tear through some of these bases. Wouldn't be a terrible idea, but it is definitely hard to control 2 armies at once, and let alone an army and several hit squads, so. It looks like the Zerg army has just kind of decided to chill right there. Gonna see if they can get anything done against that. No, they're gonna head across the map. I don't know what they're doing right now. A lot of infestors mixed in though. Oh, we got a second hit squad over here. The second carrier hit squad. Okay, I'm liking this move right here. It's a little bit aggressive. We've got an Ultralisk. We've got 3 Ultralisks. I hate to tell Number this, but Ultralisks do not shoot up. I mean, I know those tusks are really big and threatening, but they don't quite reach the sky. We get a bunch of the Ultras, also known as Derpalisks. Oh, we have an Ultralisk run by actually. Totally missed that move out. My word, how many Ultralisks does he have? Yes, 7 Ultralisks? That is really a healthy amount of Ultralisks. Man, I am really liking this position for Number actually. Flatch is not going to be able to max out anytime soon. I feel like if Number just marched across the map with this army, he would probably be able to take the game. I don't know if he realizes that. Maybe he's waiting to completely max out. I mean, it definitely is scary trying to move across the map against Sky Toss like this. You'll notice these carriers, they have to have time to rebuild those little interceptor ships. Yeah, which is what's happening here. These two, they're just sending out their interceptors, but the interceptors are immediately destroyed. Oh my word, and here's the Ultralisks. Ultralisks, like I said, do not shoot up. They do have a lot of armor though, which makes them really great at resisting damage from carriers. The interceptor ships, they have a pretty low damage output actually. I believe unupgraded they only do 5 damage. Oh no. I think this is the move out. This is the move that Number's been waiting for. Now, notice over here the carriers are getting some work done over here as well, but this is just a very nasty army for Number. Oh, yeah. Targets down the pylon. These carriers are all out of interceptors. Things are definitely not looking good for our friend Flatch. He does have these 2 carriers. These 3 carriers are getting some work done still, except they're only sending out 1 interceptor at a time, because that's all they have. These carriers get shot down out of the sky. I think that's game. I'm not seeing any way at this point for Flatch to crawl back into this game. The Hydralisks are just tearing apart the production now. No more carriers are going to come out in this game. Flatch is building a bunch of pylons. He doesn't want to get supply blocked again because that was super annoying. The Hydras are just tearing this to pieces. The Zerg has 3-3. Oh dear. Oh. Well, these carriers actually have some interceptors. They're doing pretty decent work against these Hydras, but the Hydras really do well against those interceptors as well. Now what are these lurkers going to do? I bet the lurkers head over to the other side of the map here, and they're probably just going to destroy this base. Oh man. These 4 carriers, they've done so well. Each of them has about 10 kills or more. 16, 16, 13, 9. Got a lot of kills. Oh, but this, yep. Number's pulling the trigger. He's going for the throat. This is his last base. As soon as those buildings are down, well, with the exception of the cybernetics core here, that's going to be game. Now is Flatch going to call the game here? I don't know. But this is definitely game. Flatch has no workers left. He's not going to win this game with just those 4 carriers, unfortunately. All that Number has to do to win is run over here and destroy the cyber core. Oh, there are the Zerglings. Yep, the Zerglings are going to go do the deed. There's the rally point. Oh no. And with that, the game has ended.